Rainollon here. Today is another build showcase and it's the Secura Penta. So let us immediately start. Let's start with the mods first. So the mods I'm using on the Secura Penta: Vital Sense for critical damage, Critical Delay for critical chance lowers your fire rate. It's not that big of a deal for this weapon. Hammer Shot, which gives you critical damage and slash chance. Prime Firestorm, it's an AoE weapon, so you're going to increase the AoE blast by 44%. Infected Clip for Toxin. Prime Cryo Rounds for Cold, and Toxin, gives you Viral. Galvanized Chamber for Multi-Shot, and Serration for increased damage. So these are the mods. For the Exos Weapon Adapter slot mods. So this is going to sound crazy, but you will go Terminal Velocity. This weapon's projectile speed is very slow. 60% projectile speed will definitely fix it. You don't need anything else. You can use Vigilant Supplies for enhancing your crits and ammo economy, but I'm having a really hard time losing ammo on this weapon. So yeah, it's between these two, I will say, but believe me, projectile speed on this weapon is not that good. For the Arcane, Primary Merciless. On kill, you get plus 30 increased damage for 4 seconds, stacks up 12 times, so that's 360% increased damage at max stacks, and reload speed. Both of these stats, really good for this weapon. The passive, Alternative Fire manually detonates all grenades, gain affinity to fill the parent sequence meter to trigger a 25 meter radius radiation explosion, restoring 25% shields and increasing your shield capacity by 50% for 30 seconds. This doesn't do much, but when it triggers, it might save your life, but it isn't really that mind-blowing. One thing about this AoE weapon is Alternative Fire manually detonates all grenades, so you have to use your Alternative Fire, which is a mouse and keyboard by default middle mouse. So when you shoot it, you have to use the alternative to detonate it, which is kinda completely different than other AoE weapons. For the stats, fire rate for this weapon, absolutely fine. Magazine is good for AoE weapon, maximum ammo is good, and ammo from pickup is also really good. Accuracy is very high for AoE, which is normal. Trigger, active, which is the one that you have to shoot, then I'll press the alternative fire mode button to detonate. Punch through is locked, it's a AoE weapon. Rivet Dispo is really good. Critical chance, critical damage, multi-shot is by far the best in slot. You can remove hammer shot for it. Critical chance is kinda low for a AoE weapon. Crit multi is average, stash chance is fine-ish, and a direct hit damage is whatever. Nobody's going to direct hit with AoE weapons. If you do, this is not that good. For the AoE, the critical chance, like I said, it's not that good. It has the exact same critical chance, critical multi, and stash chance stats, but it also explodes in a 8.6 meter radius, and it does not that great AoE damage. There are much better AoE weapons that do much more damage, and I did compare this weapon to the Kuva Tonkor, and the Kuva Tonkor does nearly 3 times to 4 times more damage. And yeah, one big downside to this weapon, it's old. It's one of the oldest AoE weapons. Back then, this weapon was good. Now it's usable, I will say. So stats are fine-ish. That's the passive, the mods, the Arcane, and I think I'm done here. So let's start with the mission. Be right back. I'm going to start the mission. We are finally in a mission, and this is up against the corrupted enemies, Steel Path. Ani mission is called. It's a survival of the void. We're going to show you the weapon here, and as you can see, right now I'm not doing a lot of damage, but once I get some merciless stacks, it's going to change a lot. As you can see, now I'm doing some solid damage. This is also without any armor and armor strip. The way this weapon works, like I said, you have to shoot the weapon on the floor a couple of times, or shoot the weapon, or in the air, it doesn't matter. As you can see, it doesn't detonate at all, so you have to manually detonate yourself by pressing the alternative fire mode button, which is middle mouse by default. I change it from middle mouse to C, so it's much more close to me than pressing a really awkward button as middle mouse to detonate constantly all the time. It's not for me. But yeah, that's something I will highly recommend. C is kind of fresh and a free button for you to swap. And yeah, this is pretty solid for this really old AoE weapon. There are of course much better AoE weapons with this, like Kuva and Tenon. This is one of the oldest ones, and it's still like functions, you still can use it and utilize it. And I am showing you this without any buffs or armor strip, and it is clearing. Yeah, sometimes you need to shoot a couple of times to kill these guys because of this guy. This guy is really tanky. Let me just armor strip this guy. I can't deal with this. Oh wait, I can't even armor strip him. Yeah, he is very tanky, especially against the AoE because of the shield. If I can just put the shield maybe like this. Nope. I can't kill him. Help! Come on! I can't even destroy his shield. Never mind, this weapon sucks. Don't use it, boys, don't. Maybe against these guys. Of course, you're going to swap for a melee weapon or something to kill these guys. But yeah, finally he's dead. Now that he died, everything else is going to be very easy. But yeah, the Tone Core, not the Tone Core, this is the Secura Penta, is usable. But I mentioned now Tone Core, and I did compare this weapon with the Tone Core, and Tone Core does like 3 times more damage, has a high critical chance for critical damage. And they both have the exact same really good like ammo economy. This weapon has more magazine size than the Tone Core. Tone Core reloads faster. And I think because of Tone Core's existence and other Kuwa weapons, alternate weapons' existence, this weapon kind of fall off. It's still reliable, you still can utilize it, use it. I will highly recommend use a buffer to make this weapon do much more damage. Now I'm going to show you by buffing the hell out of myself. There we go, first ability. Fourth ability, which gives me Nourish, which is viral damage. First ability gives me heat damage, which is all of that is increased damage. And yeah, I'm doing much more damage now. 138,000, 274,000. Come on, there we go. It's much more usable, but this is also against level 121 with buffs. Ember isn't the greatest buffer, of course, but it is like doing some work, I guess. You need to remember this weapon did come out when the Syndicates came out, and when Syndicates come out, we didn't have Steel Path yet. So it was mostly designed for regular star chart below like level 60s. But now that we have Steel Path, you can see it does fall off. It's still usable, but it falls off. It's better than most weapons. There are some weapons that are much younger and they're kind of unusable. But this weapon, which is really old, it's usable. Now I'm going to show you against the Acolyte. I will armor strip this Acolyte. 1, there we go. Use buffs. Come on, there we go. And there we go, that's the Acolyte. Let me just grab this thing here before I lose. And yep, that was the Acolyte. You need to armor, of course you need to armor strip the Acolyte. So the viral damage does health damage. Buff yourself, armor strip, and you will definitely kill this guy. I am finally finished with the mission. And yeah, that's the Secura Penta. I wish he gets some kind of buff in the future or something, or maybe in Incarnate form, who knows. But right now, how it is, they have much better options. It is, like I said multiple times, usable, but there are much better options. The single target, like every other AoE weapon, it isn't good. At clearing, it clears, but you will see it does fall off against like something above 200, for example. There are missions that have like level 200. We have EDA, which is level 400 or below. And we have some kind of Arcane missions that also you fight against 200 plus. And yeah, against those type of enemies, you kind of have to go all out by having a Riven, a buffer, really heavy buffer, armor stripping enemies, and then maybe the Penta will clear, or you can pretty much just use a better AoE weapon that will do content much better than this. So sadly, the Secura Penta is kinda got out power creeped. It is a really old AoE weapon. so it's quite common for this stuff to happen. Maybe we can get Incarnate form, maybe we'll get the Tenet version or something, but right now how it is, I will not recommend. There are much better options. If you really like it, go for it, but it's all up to you. So yeah, that's the Secura Penta build. I hope you enjoyed the build. Thank you everybody for watching. Leave a like, sub, and see y'all next time. Thank you. Goodbye.